Consider the equation cosecant inverse of x equals y. Which variable could be in radian measure, and how do you know? The first thing to remember is that the function cosecant inverse is an inverse. So that means that we could apply it to a value like the cosecant of theta in order to cancel out the cosecant part and be left with just theta. In that way, cosecant inverse and the inverses of the other trig functions will often be used as a tool in order to solve for a variable like theta, or do some cancellation on one or both sides of an equation. Theta itself can represent either a degree or a radian measure. So at this point, we should start to be seeing some of our answer falling into place. Cosecant of theta, for example, was placed in place of x from our original equation, and theta is, for the time being, representing y. So keep that in mind as we proceed. In this example, remember we've replaced one of the variables with cosecant of theta, and we should keep in mind that cosecant of theta represents a real number. Cosecant of theta is just the reciprocal of sine of theta. So cosecant theta, or in this case cosecant x, equals 1 over sine of x. And if we think about that in terms of the unit circle, that would be 1 over the y value where the angle intersects the unit circle. And that's just a real number. So that's something important to keep in mind. The value that the cosecant inverse is being applied to is just a real number. So to sum up, if we're asked to consider the equation cosecant inverse of x equals y, and asked which variable could be in radian measure, and how do you know? Well, the cosecant inverse of the cosecant of theta we saw equals theta. So remember, we just replaced the variable x from the original equation with cosecant of theta to provide a more concrete example, and that turned out just to be a real number. Y, well, was replaced with theta, and theta is an angle measure, which could possibly be in radians, which should answer the question. Now, as far as how do you know, if you don't know the answer to that, you should rewind the video and watch it again.